180 degrees yung pinagbago ng buhay ko dahil yung katulad nga ni Janine, parang hindi ko talaga naisip din. Hindi ko even pinangarap na makakatungtong ako sa ganitong platform, even in the same Zoom room dito sa mga icons natin. So talagang nagbago yung buhay ko 180 degrees, and ang dami ko pang tatahakin, and I just won like for about 6 months, 6 to 7 months, and I'm just really thankful sa 6 months na yon, and I'm very very excited kung ano pa yung pagdadaanan ko, kasi talagang before ako nag-join po ng Tawag ng Tanghalan, honestly, hindi po ako musician, hindi po ako hindi ako related talaga sa music yung profession ko. So ngayon na nandito ako, parang bagong panganak yung feeling ko. Parang talagang bagong salta ako sa industry, and I'm still just discovering myself, di ba? Si Janine kasi parang mas bata siya sa akin, pero parang sobrang parang grabe na rin yung napagdaanan niya. And parang kahit mas bata siya sa akin, parang ako yung parang nilulook up ko si Janine pagdating sa karera, sa pagdating sa music. So parang dami kong matututunan from Janine, from past winners, and also from the icons. So I'm just so excited and thankful sa binigay sa akin ng Tawag ng Tanghalan na opportunities.
Well, kasi what a lot of people siguro are missing is that it's more than just saying, okay, itong singer na to, tapos itong singer na to, mas okay sa kanya. It's more than that Kasi you have to understand, iba-iba yung skill sets namin as musicians, as singers. So iba-iba rin yung perception namin kung ano yung maganda, kung ano yung magaling. And we are burdened to a certain extent with the responsibility of being correct. Kasi nga walang correct It's a matter of taste. It's a matter of kunyari si Sir Louie, ito yung batayan niya, kaya gusto niya ito yung piliin niya kasi ito yung magaling, no? But one thing's for sure, iisa kami in the goal na lahat ng mga inputs namin sama-sama. Kaya nga kung mapapansin nyo, lalo na kapag ang naglalaban, yung sobrang galing pareho, nakatayo na kami lahat, tapos nag-uusap na kami, meron pa kaming group chat nag-aano pa kami doon sa Viber, ano kaya tingin nyo ganun? Kasi it's not easy. It's not easy. Kaya lalong-lalo na kung yung sinasabi na parehong magaling yung naglalaban. Kasi definitely, kung ikaw lang masusunod, wala namang matatanggal doon sa dalawa Pareho silang ma-retain kasi sobrang galing nila. But, yun yung rules. Yun yung rules ng Tawag ng Tanghalan. Kailangan may manalo. So, definitely, isa yun sa mga talagang minsan gusto talaga naming maiyak. Kasi, sana hindi na lang ganun yung rules. But, at the end of the day, this is what we have to do. So, to answer the question, yes, it's very, very very hard just because meron kang responsibility na kailangan gawin. Pero as a matter of taste, lahat sila acceptable kasi halos walang pumapasok sa TNT na hindi magaling Lahat sila magaling.
With what Nyoy said, it's not, hindi siya madaling trabaho. Of course, lahat sa audition process, nasala, kumbaga lahat ng mga magagaling. And yeah, it's true that we are given this huge responsibility, pero ang dami ding factors na kailangan naming i-consider. Of course, every season kailangan mag-level up yung mga kumbaga requirements namin as jurados to discover the talent, kasi syempre we want to see something different, we want to see someone better from the previous. Although lahat ng mga champions natin, they are amazing in all their own, styles and in all their genres. But of course, every season kailangan natin mag-level up. So yun yung pinakamalaking load lagi and responsibility sa amin. What will be the champions offer for this season, 'di ba, yung mga magagaling? And totoo yan, sometimes we don't know, we are caught in the middle of our own personal choices, sa choices based on other factors, which is bibenta ba to sa mga madlang people? Is this going to be a long-term career for this person? Bibenta ba siya as a mainstream artist? So we have to consider a lot of things. Kaya yung mga nakikita ninyo on TV, hindi siya madali. Hindi siya madali, and especially if we are given a certain amount of time to decide. Lalong-lalo na yun yung sinabi ni Nyoy kanina na pag sumabay lahat ng mga magagaling, ang hirap mag-decide kung sino ang papasok at sino matatanggal. Kaya yes, it's a huge responsibility, it's a huge challenge for us, but then at the same time it is an honor given to us, and I personally am very honored na to be part of the panel that has so much input in such a very prestigious competition such as Tawag ng Tanghalan. So yun, mahirap talaga siya, but it's an amazing experience every time.
Magka-crossover ako, hindi ako magja-judge this time. So ako naman, I'm just very proud of all our batches, all our winners, all our singers. So I always try to make it a point.
Challenges encountered.
Yes, exactly. Ngayon, so we try to support everyone. Pag merong kumanta dyan, eto si Janine, merong side character, si JM, tinetext ko, mag-recording ka, JM. Kamusta na ba ang songwriting? So I try to check up on them. I actually have this one project with the TNT All-Stars for one of our magpasikats because I just love them all so much. At doon ko talaga sila nakabanding nung naka-groupmate ko sila sa magpasikat. So my responsibility as host is to tell you na meron silang mga kanta like Pabuhat, side character. Janine is a amazing singer-songwriter. Si JM, abangan nyo, malapit na rin yan. And yun, parang siguro yun na lang ang ambag ko sa kanila to make sure that they know that someone is there constantly pushing and cheering them on as their ate for life. Love you guys.
I must admit, it is difficult, no? But it's a very good problem given to us. Why? Because we enjoy listening to everyone. They're all very talented. They have high skills in their craft. So such a good problem and a responsibility that we have to take in judging all of them, no? So having said that, enjoy it. It's a very good problem. It's a very good task. It's a very good thing that we have to handle for them, no? So I personally enjoy it because they are all so talented. And at the end of the day, it's so difficult to choose. And when we say ang gagaling nilang lahat, hindi yung plastic, talagang magagaling silang lahat. So that's it. It's a good problem, and I can do this for the rest of my life. Sana ganyan lang lahat ng problema.
Well, in the technical aspect of that, syempre, actually parang feeling ko nga mas naging madali for us to listen from our devices kasi maririnig namin what everyone else is hearing. No? Kasi isa sa mga na-encounter namin before, mga earlier seasons, meron kaming naririnig na hindi naririnig ng mga nanonood sa television. So, ito, pantay-pantay tayo, lahat tayo sa internet tayo nakikinig, sa ating mga devices tayo nakikinig. So, in some sort of way, yung technical aspect nga, baga medyo naging advantage for us kasi yun yan, naging pantay-pantay yung perceptions natin. In terms of the emotional aspect nung kasi syempre, makikita mo yung mga stories nila na parang, medyo naghihirap yung kalagayan nila ngayon, yung ibang mga contestants, mayroong mga pinagdadaanan na because of the pandemic, may ganito. I guess, more than anything, the challenge is for you not to be affected in that way. Kumbaga, maapektuhan ka sa kanya, tao sa tao. Pero, pag judge ka ng Tawag ng Tanghalan, at contestant siya, yun muna yung trabaho mo. Kailangan mo muna. Pero it's kind of difficult kasi as human beings, tayo talaga. Kumbaga, we are very empathetic and sympathetic to the people around us. So pagka na-encounter mo yun, parang, siguro I have to be more lenient with this person. And then maalala mo, teka, may trabaho ako. Hindi fair to everyone else dito sa Tawag ng Tanghalan if you include that. And then you go back to being a professional jurado kasi yun yung trabaho mo. But it's difficult. It's very difficult not to be there in that kasi like I said, and I'm witness to this, no, sa aking mga kapwa hurado, lahat yan sobrang generous, lahat sobrang palaging gustong tumulong, lahat gusto palaging what's best for the people around them. And it's difficult to do that when you have to be a professional hurado na yun yung gagawin mo. So I think more than all the other, kasi marami pa no, pero parang feeling ko isa yun sa mga pinakamahirap gawin right now.
Yeah, I agree with that. During these times ng pandemic, it has become more of a challenge for us. Kasi everything is all technical now. Everything is all technical kasi pag nasa studio ka at live mo nga nakikita at naririnig yung contestant, iba yung effect mo as a listener, as a hurado kasi andun lahat yung syempre yung the energy that you get is direct from the performance. Unlike when it comes sa online performances, yun nga yung na-mention ni Hurado nyo ay narinig mo lahat. And there's a lot of things to consider. Of course, pag nasa internet ka or online ka, iba yung naririnig mo sa studio. And on the good side, kung anong naririnig at nakikita ng mga madlang people, ganun din ang naririnig at nakikita. That's the technical side of it. For me, I think it's also a good advantage kasi makikita at maririnig mo talaga ako kasi I'm the type of hurado na I can be very generous to you but I am very meticulous at the same time. Not much on yung mga mali nila on that performance. It's more of kakayahan nila. So pag naririnig ko at nakikita ko online, yun ang mga points na kino-consider ko lagi. Mas it's hard at the same time easy for me kasi ako ganun din, very empathic ako when it comes to mga contestants sa mga kwento nila, but then of course again it's our job to base it on the talent and the actual charisma and personality of the contestants. So it's a challenge but at the same time it's also it's a matter of how you perceive or look at the situation. For me it's a good thing for me na everything's online kasi mas meticulous ako sa mga bagay na yun.
Point this season, nag-judge din ako and I think yung pinaka na-observe ko lang, I mean, Kuya Alan, yung iba talagang singing like there's no tomorrow. Yung sabik, yun talaga eh. So iba din yung timpla. Yung iba natakot sila dati o parang merong gagawin ko ba yung pangarap ko? Pero dahil ngayon napapaisip tayo, pinagninilay-nilayan natin, ano nga bang gusto kong ma-achieve sa buhay ko. So a lot of them are actually becoming brave. So I think yun yung nagiging surprise din sa sarili nila. Yung mga parang they put their dreams on hold for so long. Ngayon, parang nagkaroon sila ng panibagong lakas. So yun lang naman yung akin na siguro they never thought they would actually audition and go to compete. Pero nagkaroon sila ng awakening of some sort. So I think yun yung for me yung talagang tumatak sa akin. Meron din naman pala tong nagagawang ibang klaseng push sa mga tao. Yan.
Answered. All the judges have answered your question, Alan. But as far as I'm concerned naman, ako naman, well, during this downtime, or let's say this COVID era, my ears have become sharper, regardless of regardless of the format. Because siguro lumaki ako, nakikinig ako sa transistor radio. Alam mo naman yon. So I've learned to adjust in any format. I've learned to listen carefully and to be able to predict what the artist is trying to share, no, as far as singing. So because of this downtime also, so okay, I'm more forgiving technically, as far as how they sound, because I can sort of predict it. But it's really more of the style and who they are. And alam mo yon, kasi because now also during the downtime, I got to listen to so many stuff. so many genres. So parang mas lumawak na naman yung tenga ko as, oh my God, ang galing nito, ang galing nito. So there's a certain expectation because of this lockdown na parang there's a certain I expect, well, I want to challenge our finalists, no, na parang yung tenga ko sobrang na-exposed ulit sa parang I'll be expecting a lot again from them. So I hope this will push them to become even much better and to give something new, because yung nga kasi parang wala, sa bahay ka lang, makikinig ka lang, nako, ang dami na. So parang wow, ganyan. So yon, basta technical, it's not a problem for me, the technical side. If today, can I hear it well? Because I can sort of, predict or what they're trying to do and how they want to sound like. So it's really more of how they will project and how they will sing it.
Actually, it doesn't necessarily mean that. A part of, in fact, when we say na what we hear is kapareho, kasi there was a time na we were judging from our homes. Meron din naman, may parts din naman kasi na nandun kami sa studio. Pero when we were in our homes, of course, ang source nung ano namin, na napapakinggan namin is also from the computer or the phones. So pareho kami na narinig. I would like to point out na it's actually a step down from what we hear in the studio. Kasi pag nasa studio kami, meron kaming ear monitors. Mas malinaw po yun. Ito yung ginagamit namin. So when I say na ang naririnig namin, yung naririnig ng mga nanonood sa amin is it's actually a downgrade kasi yun nga, medyo limited yung naririnig namin. But it's in a certain way, it's also an advantage for us kasi ito pala yung naririnig nila. So we can kind of compare. So we now have both. We now have our reference of what we're usually used to hearing, and then we can compare it to itong dito kami sa bahay, nakikinig kami through the internet na ito rin yung naririnig ng lahat ng nanonood sa akin. So it's additional information for us, and though it might not be much of an advantage, it's definitely additional information for us.
Basta Alan, if I may add to what Noy said also, we as judges want to make sure that what you are hearing is what we are hearing with a little step higher and with more detail, because we want to make sure na parang kasi parang iba kunyari sabihin namin hindi maganda yan, pero sa inyo maganda yung tunog. That's why we always double check whether it be in the studio or online. Let's say we do something like this, we want to make sure that what we hear is what everybody hears so that everything's fair.
And you remember, you have to be fair. We're judging this performance, but I'm just happy that I don't have to judge this Saturday kasi nga napakahirap talaga. It's one of the hardest tasks, and once you make a mistake, wala namang bawian na yun, di ba? So, yeah. Si Jed.
Yes. I admit, of course, sa akin, it actually affects. It affects you naman talaga na you think of their previous performances. But then, yun nga, yung na-mention kanina na nagpupulong-pulong kami lagi. We always talk about it na is this particular mistake sa performance niya detrimental sa kanyang, running towards being the champion. Pinag-uusapan namin yan. But then, for me, kasi I try my best to focus on the consistency of a performer. Kaya if it's something na hindi naman talaga major na mali or mistake, I try to brush it off. I see beyond that kasi again we already kumbaga nasala na tong lahat ng to, magagaling na tong mga to, but then of course we're also human. Kahit kaming mga artists, we also make our own mistakes, but it's how they deal and how they how lusutan yung mistake na yon, kasi it's part of performing. Pag nagkamali ka, how will you be able to make it not that obvious? So yeah, it's a whole bunch of a lot of things talaga to consider, but yes, for me it adds to the factors.
Thank you so much. My next question is for Sir Nyoy and Sir Louis Ocampo. Now, I'm not saying that you do have favorites, but how do you feel when your personal favorites don't pan out to be good with like the rest of the judges? And do you often fight for them when you're quite sure that they're very talented than the other?
I go ahead.
Maybe yes, go ahead, sir.
Yes, sir.
John, I normally, if they don't do well on a particular, let's say on the finals, no, finals day, I'll judge them. I will be fair to everyone, and if they don't do well, I don't try to, I don't try to dig up the past and in the past few rounds. Magaling naman siya. No, if you don't do well on that day, on grand finals day, that's a big factor for me personally, and I will not again dig to the past because you were given, this is the day, it's just like tennis. No matter how good you were in the past, if you don't do well in the finals, that's it.
How about Sir Nyoy?
Yes. Well, more often than not, if not always, no. Yung favorite namin will always be sobrang galing. So, kasi syempre, yun yung dahilan bakit sila yung naging favorite mo no. But yun there will always be, and this is true not just to them, to the greatest performers of the Philippines or the whole world. There will always be an off day. There will always be an off performance. And unfortunately, as much as we would like to to plead our cases, kasi syempre nabanggit ko kanina, we always have parang these discussions na pero ang galing niya kasi last time The rule is always and should be always yung current performance. Kasi that's the fairest, yun yung pinaka-fair na pwede kaming or else this would be like a reality show where kailangan naming halongkatin. We need to dig up what happened in the past two performances. Dito ang galing-galing niya Ngayon hindi siya magaling. Pero, and at the end of the day, we just have to be fair. That's the responsibility of being you have to detach yourself from the emotion, no? And like you said, we do have our favorites. Unfortunately, none of that matters. We can take it as much as siguro trying to discuss with our fellow jurados na parang have you considered this side of na ang galing niya sa ganito, but that's yun that's as much effort na pwede mong gawin kasi yun at the end of the day you just have your responsibility is to be fair to everyone because that yun yung rules, yun yung dahilan, you are that's the reason why you're there to judge, and we should not forget that. I'm not saying we were successful all the time. Merong mga panahon talaga na uuwi ka and then you realize, oh my God, I think I let my emotions get to the better of me in dealing with that particular but we try our best, and definitely for something as big as this, the season 5 finals, ang huling tapatan, we definitely should remember that. So yeah, we're definitely working on it.
And Jana, mind you, when we have our favorites and they don't do well, it hurts. Para sa amin, parang why kung kailan pang ngayon
Totoo.
True, masakit. And then but again, we're fair, that's why we do what we do.
Yeah. And if I may add, sometimes that's when the jurados get in trouble Kasi nga this particular person, this particular singer has a great track record na talagang from the start of ganyan, and then meron siyang performance na hindi maganda, and then you have to fairly give her or him a low score because of that, and then people say ang galing-galing kaya nito singer nito, but what they don't understand, we have to judge based on the current performance, and we just have to stick to it, unfortunately. So yeah.
All right, but in my books, you're still doing a great job, sirs. Well, my next question is for the finalists. What particular song that you have in your current bank do you think is super technically hard, but are afraid to perform, but you would want to do in the competition? Siguro, simulan natin with Adrian.
For me po yung kinanta ko po nung quarterfinals, yung ano po, yung A Song For You. Kasi doon po talaga ako nahirapan. Bali, ginagawan ko po siya ng, madami po akong ginagawang bali na hindi po tumutugma sa song.
Mhm.
Yun.
All right, how about Asia?
Yes, yung pinaka-hardest song na ginawa ko for me during this competition was when I sang Consequences, because hinahanap ko pa po kasi yung yung level of getting pressured and getting nervous and getting comfortable during the competition kasi iba po siya with theater. So, yung Consequences po yung kasi iba po yung dynamics niya when it comes to doing the falsettos and the high notes and then the low notes. So, yun po yung technically hard for me.
All right. How about you, Anthony?
For me po, siguro yung kinanta ko na lang din ng quarterfinals, yung stand-up. Kasi after ng weekly, na-realize ko parang I wanted to do a different performance pagdating ng quarter. So, naghanap talaga ako ng song na parang interesting or something different for me. And siguro masasabi ko parang risk siya because yung song din is not so common and originally performed by a girl po. So, yun. So, siguro yun po yung masasabi ko na parang
Alright.
hardest.
Okay, how about you, Jim?
Yung muli po, yung version ng Showtime po, medyo nahihirapan ako noon kasi sobrang malat po noon kasi tapos nanibago ako sa areglo, yun po.
With that, yung arrangements ba ikaw ang nasusunod or yung band na kasama niyo sa Showtime?
Magdidepende po kasi yun, kung may gusto kang gawin nga array, depende pa rin yun po.
Okay. How about you, Sam?
Ako po yung song po na I think very challenging po for me is yung kinanta ko din po ng quarters, yung pong song na Only Hope. Kasi bago po yung arrangement, yung areglo po ng song. Pero dahil po sa grace ni Lord na naitawid ko naman po siya ng maayos. Ayun po.
All right. And how about you, Raven?
Para po sa akin yung kinanta ko rin sa quarterfinals, yung Dahil Mahal na Mahal Kita. Kasi po, halos lahat po alam po yung kantang yun and female po yung original na singer po. Kaya yun po.
Okay, and last but not least, of course, Lorraine.
Hello po, Sir John. So,
Hi.
para sa akin po, ang pinaka-much challenge po ko na song is yung kakantahin ko po for Grand Finals. Yung Spain po, by Aliro po. And though mahirap siya, parang very excited po ako na i-perform siya kasi every time na makakapasok po ko sa susunod na araw, ganyan, sa next level, lagi ko pong challenge yung sarili ko na kaya ko ba to? Kaya ko ba to? Kaya ko ba tong gawin? So, feeling ko sa kakantahin ko po for the Grand Finals, though mahirap siya, parang gusto ko rin po na makita nyo na may enjoy ko makakanta po. And gusto ko rin na ma-enjoy din po ng audience.
Lorraine, pasundot lang ng question.
Yes po.
Would you rather gamble like a super hard song on a Grand Finals?
I think magagamble po ako ng hard song sa Grand Finals kapag alam ko na mamamaster ko po siya fully. Kasi why take the risk kung hindi ko rin pala kaya? Mas magandang i-take ko yung risk kapag alam ko na mabibigay ko yung gusto kong performance sa araw po na yun.
All right. With that, congratulations, guys. And yung
Yun, ayun,
mapabilang
nakalimutan ko
pa
si
lang,
Froilan. Ayan.
mapabilang pa lang ng maging finalist dito is really, really good. What was that again, Justin?
Ayun, na-miss natin si Froilan.
Okay. Froilan, can you tell me like the super hard song that you performed on the show or will be performing on the show?
Ako din po, same sa mga naging kasama ko. Yung kinanta ko sa quarterfinals, yung song from South Border na Wherever You Are, na which is lumabas ako sa genre ko, na which is rock po. And kasi nag-rock band talaga ako for many years. And ang hirap kumanta at mag-perform sa stage while doing the competition na yung song na yun is for my mom. Alam mo yung kinakanta mo siya na yun sobrang yung kahit sobrang gusto mo nang maiyak dahil sa message ng kata sa sobrang miss mo sa mom mo, pero kailangan mong itawid to para umabot ka sa grand finals. Alam mo yung gan. Pero ang sarap sa pakiramdam po.
Yeah. And congratulations nga pala sa performance nyo kanina. Super
thank you
nice
po.
ng beer. Ako, people have been raving about it on social media. Congratulations sa inyo, Lorraine. Thank you.
Thank you po.
Ayan,
Thank you po.
thank you.